Welcome to another episode of Corner Talk. I have the pleasure of sitting here with a newcomer to the league. Great fight, got a lot of buzz, and I want to allow this gentleman, as always, to introduce himself.
My name's Smiley. You know, I'm from the city. And I just love the passion of fighting.
From the city, sir. Is there a particular side of town you hail from?
I grew up on all sides of town.
614 representation all around the board.
Sir,
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. So let me ask you something I ask all the guys, and particularly I start my interviews with. How do you feel about this movement, this league, and what we're developing here, sir?
Oh yeah, I like it a lot. Just like a couple years ago, I used to just ride around with the boxing gloves, trying to pull up on people, homies, whatever, just trying to get some fun rec type stuff. So when I peeped this, I'm like, when I first seen this, I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. I want to be a part of that, And I reached out, and they got me in.
So you come from a boxing background, street fighting background, or just just all around athlete, sir?
All around athlete. I mean, I grew up street fighting, taking rounds for fun, all of that, Shoot. I mean, I've been in some fights, but like a lot of people used to just be like, oh, oh, I heard you got him. I want to see, you feel me? Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. And again, I always say this is something this league has developed, man. Be giving young gentlemen an avenue in which to express themselves, in which to perform, and in a safe way, get some competition and some rec. But let's jump right into it, sir. How do you feel about your fight, man? Knockout, right? Stop the gentleman. How do you feel about that? That is your debut fight in this league.
I feel pretty good about it, It boosted my confidence a lot, because I ain't gonna lie, you feel me? I wasn't scared, but nervous. First time being on the stage in a minute. I ain't been in no type of sport events in a long time, but I knew I still had it type stuff. I'm just working on my stamina and stuff now, trying to go longer.
So now after you've introduced yourself to the league, the competition, how it goes, introduce yourself to the fans, and you generated a lot of buzz pretty quickly. A lot of people appreciate your fight, and a lot of people already clamoring and want to see your next matchup. Is there anyone you have your eye on in particular, or are you willing to take whoever the organization throws at you?
I'm pretty humble, Like, I love competition, I mean, I'll never dodge no fight, no challenge. Honestly, I want the belt. So, whoever I got to go through to get to the belt, that's what I'm willing to do.
So it's fair to say you ducking no smoke.
Ducking no smoke.
I love that. I love the confidence in this young man. I do want to ask you something, and I got the privilege of talking to you off camera and developing a friendship with you, and like I have with a lot of guys in the league. Is there a particular style that you favor or a fighter that you emulate or learn from?
I like a lot of fighters. I mean, my fight style is kind of different from my favorite fighters, but I try to mimic movements and just different ways to attack and defend myself like he do, but we're not kind of built the same. So I kind of try to mimic guys that I'm built like. But I like Canelo Alvarez. You feel me? Working on getting it tighter. You feel me? My style and more solid with them punches.
That's great, man. Hell of a fighter, man. That's not a bad person for you to look at and emulate, man. His work ethic is through the roof. And then as well, there's nothing wrong with you being original, having your own style. Obviously it's worked for you so far. Let me ask you a question. How did it feel when you seen a gentleman get counted out in the fight with style? What was your initial reaction?
Just.
Was it relief? Was you happy or what?
I mean, honestly, I seen it coming after like the first round. I seen it coming. So I felt it made me feel pretty good, but like, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to do this again.
What? Let me ask. What was your preparation going into this fight? Was there something special you did, or you just showed up and performed? Man, what was this? What would you do?
I came over here and I sparred. And I had been jogging and stuff like that, but I hadn't sparred with anybody in a long time. Then I came over here, I sparred with Trey. I sparred with AR. You feel me? And exactly the areas I knew I needed work in, they exposed them. You feel me? And I took, I took that in, and I'm like, okay. So when I go in this fight, let me watch for that, but not try to focus on it too much, and still try to just fight with a clear head. Try not to over pursue, and try not to gas myself out, because that's where I kind of lose myself. And I did that.
That's great. Being willing to learn and putting the time in to get better and do something that's a admirable quality, and I'm glad you showed that and told that to the public. But let me ask you something, man. We touched on you know who you were in the street fighting and stuff. But if I approached you and I said, Smiley, man, who are you, man? Who is the person? Who is Smiley? Not the fighter, not the boxer, but who is Smiley?
I'm a cool dude, coolest for real, just chill, laid back. I'm an athlete. I do play all types of sports, football, basketball. I ran track. I'm a comedian, I like to laugh a lot. I like to have fun, turn up, whatever it be. Chill person, yeah.
And I admire you, man. You are you. When I talk to you and stuff, and you kept a smile on your face, man, and you are the person that you are, man. And I do commend you for that. Like I said before, man, you original, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with you being an original, man. And I hope everybody appreciate that in this gentleman, as well as his boxing style. Let me ask you something, man. What's your best punch? Do you think you have one?
See, I used to think it was a hook, but I think it's that jab, the straight jab. I got a stiff one.
This gentleman has a stiff one. Pause. I appreciate that, man. The jab is underutilized and sometimes unappreciated, even though everybody says it's the most important punch in boxing. So it was your first time performing there? Was a crowd there, man? Did the crowd have any effect on you? Did it raise your adrenaline? Was your heart beating faster? Or was it just like, I'm here to do business and that's all?
Yeah, my heart was beating. It's like, all right, like that first football game of the season, that adrenaline rush you get right before kickoff, but once kickoff start, you feel me? All that adrenaline just like let it loose type stuff, you feel me?
Sure. I had the privilege and the honor of being the third man in the ring in a lot of these fights, and I got to see it up close and personal. And then I did see that. And I seen that you kind of a couple of seconds into the fight, you kind of came down and you was like, I'm ready. I can do this. And I like the way you handled that, sir. And that goes without saying. And you can see on the video because your fight's been posted, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How many times have you watched it?
I watched it probably about 30 times with my friends too. Sometimes I wake up, get on YouTube, let me go watch that again, I watch all the fights, honestly. I probably watch all the fights at least 5 times a piece, but when I seen mine, I'm like, replay.
Let me ask you something. Speaking on that, who's the first person you showed the fight to? When you seen it was posted and you was like, oh, my fight's up. Who was the first person that you said, hey, my fight's up, go watch it?
I sent the link to my mom.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. I sent the link to my mom. Then I dropped it in the group chat. Then my homeboy like, bro, pull up. We about to watch it on TV. You feel me? I'm like, say less. You feel me?
So it was a celebration, man. Did it for the hood, did it for your family, and you're gonna keep doing it for them, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like you said, there's not a person that you won't duck. There's not smoke that you don't want. You take them all, line them up.
I'll take them all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there's a prerequisite to get the title shots. You got to go through a couple more fights to get there.
Yeah, I heard. You feel me? I'm ready to do that.
You ready to do that? Coming for the belt. Don't say it to me, sir. Say it to the public.
You feel me? I got to get my 2 other fights out the way. Then I'm coming for the belt. You feel me? So whoever these next 2 challenges is, you feel me? Bring a challenge. That's what I'm looking for, and let's get it cracking.
Hey, this gentleman holds no punches, man. In the ring and out the ring. He said he's coming for the belt. This is what he wants. This is what he's after, man. And I love that in this gentleman, man. But before I let you go, I do want to ask you. I do want to ask one thing. Is there a particular fight that was on your card that you enjoyed watching and being a fan of, or is there a boxer in this league that you're a fan of?
I'm really a fan of everybody in the league. Trey, AR, Armani, Cameron the Fox.
The league as a whole, I appreciate it.
Big Jaw, and a new fighter that fought the same day as me, my boy Sir. I like everybody's fight style. That aggressiveness, that not back down in the ring. I could give them, but I could take them too. I like that. So and then I see actual skill in these fighters too. It's like, okay, I want to sharpen and own my skills too, and I want to put them all to the test against the best.
I hear that. Like I said, man, you got a lot of buzz, man. You put on a hell of a performance, man. And if you haven't seen his knockout performance, man, please log on. It's on YouTube. And as he said, he's watched it 30 times, so it must be pretty good. I do want to ask one thing, man, and if you don't mind, is this something that you think you would pursue? Is boxing something you can see in your future, or you just you here for the rec and here in the league?
See, this is a good stomping ground for me too. I'm using it, to get great rec. I love the whole organization of the whole. You feel me? The Shots Fired Boxing League. Like, I love the whole thing, how it's set up, all of that. You feel me? The exposure there's giving fighters and stuff like that. So yeah, like I really want to take it as far as I can. Cause I got a passion for it. I have fun doing it too. So I ride the wave all the way.
Yes, sir. And I want people to notice that a lot of these gentlemen, they develop a love for the sport, the passion for the sport, and this league. And one of the roles, and it's hard, is giving kids a chance, giving kids, men, people an outlet, and develop a new passion. And as you see by this gentleman to my right, who had the hell of a performance, that's something that he embodies. So I hear, the organization got somebody special lined up for you. I'm told not to divulge it yet, but would you take him on the next card?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm willing to take any challenge, man. I love it, bro. Like, bring it on. You feel me? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another great episode of A Corner Talk, man. With the new upcoming, the fast rising star in the boxing league, Smiley. I appreciate you, sir, and I'm glad you was able to come and do this interview. And I want to give you one more time, if there's anything you would like to say, or just to take us off the air, man, or whatever would you like to do, sir. Again, I appreciate you, my brother.
Saying peace to Smiley, man. I want to say shout out to Shots Fired, man. Thanks for the opportunity.
Shots fired, corner talk.